Let's go. We ain't slowing down, baby, come and show me how. Gotta do it right now, you know you gotta hold me down. Can I let the moment pass? Good things, they never last. Pull up in a whip, you know I had to hit the gas. Yeah, that's premium.
All right, we are 4-0, but that's no thanks to Robert Bonner, who is 49 for 82, 762 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. He's having an awful season, especially when you compare it to the years he's had in the past, 23-6 and 36-12. So this 1-to-2 touchdown to interception ratio is far below his standards. So let's see if he can pick up the pace here as we play Buffalo, and we are hosting some recruits this week. So let's take a look at the roster for Buffalo.
Roster breakdown.
Their quarterback is John Martinez. He's a 75 overall. As a sophomore, that's not too bad. Halfback is Jerry Nelson. He's a senior. He's an 80 overall. He only has 84 speed. Fullback is Brian Jenkins, 54 overall. The wide receivers are Slow, Rick Allen, Jermaine Hodges, Andrew Bennett, Tremaine Oliver, and so on. Tight end is Greg Kelly. He's a 69 overall. Left tackle Freddie Mullins is a 70. Left guard Alex Andrews is a 69. We've got 2 centers. They're both 66s. That is Michael Kerr and Terrence Mack. At right guard, Bryson Neal is a 68. Right tackle Brian Luke is a 70. Left end Tom Henry is a 74. Right end is also a 74, and his name was Brandon Franklin. Defensive tackle J, just the letter J, Rhodes, 68 overall. And then you've got Isaiah Church and DeAndre Hall, Taylor Lee. Not that imposing. Devin Carter, he's an 80 overall. He might be their best player. He's a left outside linebacker with good speed. Middle linebacker is Alfred Patton. Right outside linebacker, Ronnie Hughes. At corner, Keith McConnell, Joe Barry, Patrick Little, and C.J. Cowan. Should try to go deep on these guys. Trent Williams is a 74 overall. George Britton is an 80 overall, so he's probably tied for best on the team. Kicker is a 63, and the punter is a 66, Greg Hawkins. And that is the roster for the Buffalo Bulls. We know Mike Hicks is going to be out for a long time, but is Jesse Garcia still nursing his injury? He is still nursing his injury. Now he's probable. Hopefully he'll be in this game. And Mike Hicks out for 6 more weeks. For Buffalo, it's just one guy, P.J. McCarty, a strong safety with a strained back, out for 4 weeks. And that is your injury report. All right, welcome in to 2016 Game 5 here at Rynerson Stadium in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Number 9, Eastern Michigan, is going to host Buffalo. Here's your opportunity to click like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. We have 55 subscribers. You could be number 56, like Lawrence Taylor. All right, kick is away. Ben Pershey boots it all the way out of the end zone. And now we've got Buffalo, and they're going to complete a pass for about 6 yards. Second down. Ball is up, and that's going to go out of bounds to nobody. So 3rd and 4. Eastern Michigan trying to get off the field. And that one is batted down by Cole Jones. The big right end, number 97, ends that drive. And Bubba McKinley will field this punt. Not much room on the return. And now we see Robert Bonner. 4 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. But he's got that one complete to Jesse Garcia, who's finally back after missing the last 2 games, nursing an injury. There's Garcia again with a nice move, and he's got another first down. So Jesse Garcia is making a statement early on, And they try to go to him again, but that one is a no-go. So Bonner will pitch to Griffin, and Charles Griffin has the edge, gets all the way down inside the 5-yard line. So it'll be 1st and goal. Another play to Charles Griffin, and he is in for a touchdown. Remember, Griffin playing because Mike Hicks is injured. And boom goes the cannon as Eastern Michigan strikes quickly. Just a few plays, and they're in the end zone. So Buffalo takes over at their own 20, and that one will be completed on the slant. So 2nd and 3, and they find another man. That's another first down. Cole Jones out there in the coverage with the tackle. This one is batted down, a failed attempt at a screen. And here comes the sack. That is Keith Beach, good old number 91. And that's pretty dramatic. All right, so 3rd and 17 after the dramatic sack by Keith Beach, and he's up and throwing that away, and oh my goodness, he had his hands on it. They're able to knock it down, though, and get off the field. The man skied for it in double coverage, and McKinley will try again on the punt return, and again, can't get around those initial blockers. But here's Charles Griffin making it to the edge, and he's got a first down and more. Bonner under center. This will be a play fake to Charles Griffin. And he's going to go long. And he's got Garcia for the touchdown. Jesse Garcia is back, baby. He was tired of sitting on the bench. So we're going to get another kaboom from the cannon. As Jesse Garcia now has 3 catches. And that nice touchdown. Just beat his man to the corner, keeps his feet in bounds, 36 yards. And now it's going to be 14-0 Eastern Michigan here in the first quarter. So a much better start than what we've seen in some of these games this year. As Buffalo shoots themselves in the foot. 1st and 15. And we've got another sack, folks. This time, it's right end Cole Jones. Cole Jones having himself a little bit of a game, ladies and gentlemen. And this quarterback is taking a beating. So 2nd and 21 after the sack, and that's intercepted by Stephen Wynn. The senior's got a clear lane to the end zone, and that is a pick 6 touchdown. So a terrible play by this quarterback, and Stephen Wynn takes advantage. I would hate to be John Martinez right now, the quarterback for Buffalo. He's been sacked twice and thrown a pick 6. So he's struggling out there as Pershey adds the extra point. And that'll make it 21-0 here in the first quarter. If this keeps up, we might see the reserves soon. And here's another sack. And this time, it's our historic sack leader, Justin Parker. So we've got 3 sacks here in the first quarter. And John Martinez is now at 2nd and 17. And that's going to go out of bounds as he's a little trigger happy since he's been under such relentless pressure. And that one is going to skip off the turf. So 4th and 17, they will have to punt it back to Eastern Michigan. And McKinley makes a nice move to get outside, but it might be coming back. That's Dale Carroll on the penalty. Not our favorite thing we've ever seen. So Charles Griffin gets it, tries to make a move, picks up about 3. And Bonner digs that one out of the turf. Does get it away to Jesse Garcia on the screen. And Garcia is able to run for the first down. And here's a big pass to Brett Andrews up the seam. And now there's 30 seconds left in the quarter. A play fake to Griffin. Under pressure, and Bonner will not escape at that time. So 2nd and 22 as the first quarter winds to an end. Bonner going for the end zone. He overthrows Justin Workman. And that'll do it for the very first quarter of play. And now we head to the second quarter. Bonner hands it off to Griffin, who takes it inside to center it, and we'll see a Ben Pershey field goal. He hasn't missed yet this year. And that'll make it 24-0. Pershey kicks this one away, and we're seeing it because it will have a return. And there's a flag on said return. So the ref's really getting after the holding calls on the punt returns today. That one is batted away. Shane Ward got his mitt on it. He's excited about it. So 2nd and 10. Here comes the rush. Martinez gets it away, and Harrison was the closest one to that ball. So 3rd and 10. Here comes the rush again, and batted back in his face. That's Justin Parker. With the pass defense, they'll have to punt it out of their end zone yet again. And now let's see if Bubba McKinley can get a clean return with no holding. Gets a few yards there. So Bonner will hand off to Griffin, who's got a huge lane. We saw a pancake, and that is a touchdown, folks. It looks like Andre Dixon, the tight end, was able to pancake a man. Let's take a look. Yeah. And then just a clear runway to the end zone for Charles Griffin. And Karande, he's clapping. He likes it. 38 yards on the touchdown scamper. And now it's 31-0. Pershey kicking into a 14-mile-an-hour wind, which is why he's not able to secure the touchback. And this one gets returned to about the 24-25. All right, Martinez back to throw. He's just going to throw it away. No one was open. Coverage was good. 2nd and 10. And there's a screen pass that's batted away. Looked like Stephen Wynn knocked it down. And that one will be complete in front of Dale Carroll. So a first down for Buffalo, a rarity today. And that one is not completed as Stephen Wynn's able to break it apart. 2nd and 10. The rush is picked up, and Ted Taylor gets his hands on it. That had pick 6 written all over it, but he couldn't secure the catch. So 3rd and 10. And there's a interception. That's Ron Harris skying for that one. He's able to outrun one of the linemen, but this guy's got a good angle. A nice return, though, for Ron Harris. Ron Harris being the 4th corner, the dime corner. And they just get their routes confused. Both receivers in the same area. So 3 defenders there as well. And that's Ron Harris on the interception. So they're just pouring it on here. 31-0. Still 3.5 minutes left in the half. Bonner to throw, and he's got Brett Andrews all the way down to the 4. Let's see if they can score another touchdown. And they do. That is a check down to the tight end, Andre Dixon. And we are looking at 38-0. No one covering them. Too easy. Pitch and catch there. Karande having a good day clapping. So 38-0. Percy's going to kick this one into a 14-mile-per-hour wind. Still 14 miles per hour. So another return. And we'll see if John Martinez can survive the rest of this half. Ooh, that was almost intercepted. Joel Harrison got 2 hands on it, but it slipped through, and it's not going to count as an interception, and that one is off the mark as well. So all of a sudden it's 3rd and 10. Here comes the pressure up the middle. That one is not complete. Hit the receiver in the hands, but broken up. They're punting. Quick 3 and out. McKinley looking for some blocking, getting some blocking. A nice return for Bubba McKinley. And that one is not coming back. So here's Griffin again, finding some room up the middle. He's having a great game out there. 7 carries for 88 yards and 2 touchdowns, averaging 12.5 yards a carry. So that's pretty good. They actually had the tight end there, and Bonner missed him. He was going for Garcia. That one's batted away. Griffin makes a weird read on that one, and it'll be 4th and 1. So they're going for it on 4th and 1 instead of a sure field goal. And Bonner to throws it into coverage, and that's a turnover on downs. So a rare misstep for the Eagles in this one. And Stephen Wynn could have just erased that mistake, but unable to secure the interception. All right, there's another bat down at the line. I couldn't tell if that was Justin Parker or Keith Beach, but the defensive line is having a great game. So 4th and 10, quick 3 and out. Back to the Eastern Michigan Eagles. See if they can be a little better with this possession than they were last time. All right, Bonner looking to throw, and he's going long. He's got Garcia who hops it and catches it, but they're going to review this. And before they finish reviewing it, they've reversed the play. So I think we know what the outcome of this one is. Nice hands to get it, but can't keep the feet in bounds. So 2nd and 10. And Bonner just gets crushed. Tom Henry's got 2 sacks on the game. So 3rd and 23. And he does get that one out in front to Garcia for the 1st down. Just when things were looking pretty grim for the Eagles on this drive, he converts a long one. And that one is into coverage intended for Garcia. He's got to stop staring down that receiver. This is a little better, going to the fullback, Gabe Swanson, who gets a 1st down. 24 seconds left. Screen pass to Garcia. Runs into a defender. So 2nd and 2, 10 seconds left. And that's up for Andre Dixon, who makes a move, and he's got his 2nd touchdown of the game. What a play by the tight end, Andre Dixon. So Bonner's got him on the seam. He jumps for it. Number 47 misplays that one badly. And that's going to make it 45-0 at halftime. So just a total domination by the Eastern Michigan Eagles here at home in Ypsilanti. Rynerson Stadium, got to be at some point one of the toughest places to play. 2 seconds left. Let's see what Martinez does with it. He'll just hand it off, and that running back will go nowhere. Chad Sawyer and Justin Parker in on the stop. And this is a laugher. 45-0. We are only at halftime, folks. So this will be a good opportunity for mass subs to come in. And we will see a bunch of the younger players, a lot of backups. We've got a lot of redshirt freshmen on the team, players who need some reps. And Bubba McKinley still getting the kick return. But Jared Tolbert's in there now. And Tolbert completes that to Carlton Brown, the backup tight end, and that's going to be a 1st down. It looks like they've still got Charles Griffin in there. Oh, and he's got a huge lane. We saw some more pancake blocks that will go uncredited. But now he's got 9 carries for 134 and 2 touchdowns. I was going to say I think he's still in there because technically he is the backup to Mike Hicks. So even though he's the starter today, they're still considering him a backup. So we'll probably have to manually put in our other running back. And what a play to Carlton Brown. A diving reception in the end zone. This is tight end Tuesday. I don't know what day it is when you're watching this, but let's just say it's tight end today. Carlton Brown with a touchdown. Andre Dixon with 2 touchdowns. And now it's going to be 52-0. So we get a chance to see what the backup defense can do. They can give up a first down almost immediately. So that was bad playing by Wynn there. That's not Steven Wynn. That's his little brother Mike Wynn. And there's another wide open player. Lee Walker, backup free safety, is there to stop him. Number 29. And he's got all sorts of time. He's just going to run it. Lee Walker comes up and makes the hit. So 1st and goal for Buffalo, who is having no issue moving the ball against Eastern Michigan's second string defense. They will, of course, make it harder on themselves with a false start. Oh, and that one is nearly picked. Ron Harris can't get his hands on that one. He's already got 1 on the day. And here's a screen pass. Harris misses the tackle there. So 3rd and goal. And that one's batted back in his face. So the second string defense does hold them to just a field goal when Buffalo had a 1st and goal. So 8 plays, 75 yards in just 47 seconds. This is a chance for Cronday to see what he's got. And I don't know why McKinley didn't pick that up. So Eric Griffin, the senior corner, 2-year starter, not a starter anymore, picks that up. And they fake to Charles Griffin, and that's going to be intercepted. Tolbert throws a pick right away. And so Buffalo's back in business. So the backups, obviously not as good as the starters. And that man was left alone. No coverage over there. So a missed assignment. And now it's 52-10. So 10 quick points for Buffalo. And we'll have to see if McKinley and company and the backups can do anything with this drive. Now we've got Chris Barrett in there and Shannon Cleveland, the 3rd string quarterback who's coming in because Tolbert just threw a pick. So we'll see what Cleveland can do. Chris Barrett, he's had a lot of experience. And here is Brett Andrews getting a first down. Barrett's been forced into action quite a bit. And this is the backup fullback, Cameron Boyd. He's a walk-on, or was a walk-on. He was a 48 overall. And now he's a 68. Finally gets a carry, I think, or a reception. That's maybe the first reception or any stat of any kind of his career. And he immediately gets hurt. So a nice play by Chris Barrett on that last one. And here's Charles Griffin back in to snag that reception. Griffin and Barrett both in. It looks like Griffin may be the backup fullback somehow. All right, anyway, Cleveland's going to run for it, and he's not going to get to the line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 8. We may be seeing another Ben Pershey field goal if Cleveland can't get it done, and he cannot. So Ben Pershey with the field goal, and that'll make it 55-10, which is the same score that the 49ers beat the Broncos in the Super Bowl by. I think that was Super Bowl 26. Anyway, it's been a long time since the 49ers won a Super Bowl. And now their owner was just caught in a prostitution sting in Ohio. So, you know, things aren't going great for the 49ers, I guess is what I'm saying. All right, 3rd and 2. And Ramirez back to throw. He's got a man. That's a completion. And so Walker going back. Can he get there? I think Walker was there, and Pat Robinson knocked it down before Walker could intercept it. So, same team, guys. Same team. All right, 2nd and 10, 55-10. And another completion. Ted Taylor tries to rip it out to no avail. And they are finding success against this second team defense. Now they'll try the run. They'll have a little bit of success with that. 2nd and 7. Passes up and way out of bounds. So that'll make it 3rd and 7. Ramirez. Oh, that one's batted and almost caught. Yeah, not caught. Batted and then almost caught. That one's almost batted and it's incomplete. So a turnover on downs. And Shannon Cleveland will get back to work. This one goes to Marlon Miller. He was a 3-star recruit a few years ago who's progressing nicely. He's a junior now. And that's an interception. So Shannon Cleveland gets in on the interception fest as well. Ironically, the only quarterback who hasn't thrown an interception is Robert Bonner, who's been the king of that this year. 2nd and 10, Buffalo trying to get some more points. They've got a 1st down. So in the red zone, and defender gets pancaked and almost comes back to make the sack. 2nd and 10. And here comes the rush, gets there, and Ramirez throws it through the uprights. So 3rd and 10. And another one that's off the mark, way out of bounds. 4th and 10, they're going for it on 4th down again, why not? And that's batted down by Ron Harris. So now we've got Tolbert back in the game. So Shannon Cleveland had his turn didn't go great, so Tolbert will try again. And Chris Barrett will get a 1st down on 2 carries. So 1st and 10, 2:52 left in the game. Barrett breaks a tackle there and picks up about 2. So now a play fake. Tolbert running out of room. He's going to scramble, and he's got the 1st down and gets knocked out of bounds after that. So heads up play by the quarterback with just enough speed to evade that defensive line. Going long into coverage, and that's intercepted. So Tolbert's now thrown 2 interceptions. They're really getting sloppy here in the 4th quarter. 2nd half has been pretty sloppy altogether. But again, and Peoples can't secure that one. It was almost the same play that Joel Harrison couldn't get a hold of. So Matt Peoples can't pick it off, so it's 3rd and 10. Lots and lots of time. Throws up a duck, completes it. 1st and 10. And here's another completion. And Pat Robinson with the tackle. And this one's going long for the end zone and too far. But that was a close one. Just slightly overthrown. This one will be completed for a 1st down. So 1st and 10, 1:14 left. Buffalo trying to score again. It looks like they might be able to do that. As they're moving the ball, there's some pressure. And that one is incomplete. Ron Harris near the ball there. And he's going to step out, so it'll be 3rd and 6. Can they stop him here? No. Well, maybe yes. Okay, so 4th and 1. And they're going to crash in on the running back, and that is the 3rd turnover on downs that the defense has engineered. So they've been bad about pulled him down by his face mask. Garcia is in, Bonner is in. So it looks like Karan Day put all the starters back in, and he's challenging them to go down and score here before the end of the game. Tired of seeing the turnovers from the 2nd stringers. So Bonner is going to throw this one up, and that is nearly picked. Workman was the intended target. So 2nd and 10. Can Bonner survive the game without an interception? I don't know if he's had a clean game yet. That's a great catch by Andre Dixon. He's having a heck of a game. 18 seconds left. Bonner to throw. He's got wide open Brett Andrews for the touchdown. So challenge accepted. Challenge completed. The starters come in and go all the way down the field for a touchdown. That's going to make it 62 to 10. So Bonner comes in, finds Brett Andrews for the touchdown. Andre Dixon with a nice play. And that'll make it 62 to 10 with 14 seconds left. So 3 plays, 82 yards, just 22 seconds. Pershey kicking this one into the wind. It'll be fielded, and Buffalo's going to... We're going to see another flag on a return. Buffalo has 10 seconds left, and they're going to be backed up a little bit. All right, can we get a turnover in 10 seconds? Ball is up and out of reach for everybody. 5 seconds to engineer one more turnover. And we're not going to do it. So that'll be the game. Eastern Michigan just dominates this one. They had a 45-0 at halftime. The final score is 62 to 10. And Stephen Wynn gets the play of the game. The pick 6. That made it 21 to 0. And that was just the first quarter. Robert Bonner ended up with 4 touchdowns. Now that's funny, because now he's evened up his touchdown to interception ratio. He was at 4 and 8. Now he's going to be at 8 and 8. That looks a lot better, folks. The interceptions were thrown, of course. Shannon Cleveland and Jared Tolbert combined for 3. Bonner tried, but didn't quite make it. So Griffin with a huge game. Chris Barrett comes in and averages 7.2 yards per carry as well. On the receiving side of things, Jesse Garcia back and better than ever. 7 catches, 135 yards, and a touchdown. Brett Andrews had that 30-yard touchdown at the end. Dixon with 2 touchdowns. Carlton Brown got one from Tolbert. And even Cameron Boyd caught a pass. Both fullbacks did, in fact. We gave up 3 sacks, including Nathan Mangum, a redshirt freshman, getting on the stat board. We had a lot of pancakes too, but those were uncredited. Lee Walker, the backup free safety with 9 tackles. Justin Parker had 2 TFLs. Keith Beach and Cole Jones had one as well. So did Smith. And 3 sacks on the day. Parker, Beach, and Jones, all defensive linemen. Ron Harris and Stephen Wynn were the ones with interceptions. And Ron Harris had 2 deflections. One of those could have been another interception. Justin Parker at the line had 2 deflections. Look at all these deflections. Just getting their big hands in, including Brandon Gilmore, which he's been the backup left end behind Roger Dennis this whole time, and I think that's the first stat he's ever recorded. All right, Ben Pershey had 2 field goals, 8 extra points made, and only converted 6 of the 9 kickoffs to touchbacks because of the wind. 2 kick returns for 36 yards. Griffin had to pick one up as well. The backups got to play pretty much all of the second half in that one. Let's take a look at the Immersion Owners.
Immersion Owners.
And Oregon suffers an upset. They lose to Washington. Jason Enright has 9 carries for 74 yards, 1 touchdown, a long of 22, and 7 broken tackles. Wow. He also added 1 catch for 7 yards. He returned 5 kicks for 116 yards with a long of 46. And he returned 2 punts for 4 yards with a long of 3. So that is your day for Jason Enright. All right, we had some players visiting for that blowout. Let's see if it helps with recruiting.
Recruiting.
All right, the fullback Lee Shaw that we stopped trying to get goes to Tennessee. We get 353 points of interest for Jeremy Jepson, who's visiting. We get 234 points for defensive tackle Rob Johnson. All right, we get 389 points for strong safety Kevin Smith. We get 425 points for defensive tackle Patrick Doty, who we're trying to get back from Ohio State. We get 359 points of interest for Anthony Newton, a 5-star running back. We get 361 points for wide receiver Thomas Oliver. We get 366 points for tackle Steve Lee. We get 359 points for Jason Bryant, halfback. 280 points for halfback Chris Bailey. 206 points for Justin Davis, who's visiting. 207 points for Nick Fine. 81 points for Ron Myers. All right, we picked up 2 recruits, our first 2 of the year. We got the tight end Davis and the defensive tackle Johnson. Let's take a look at them. All right, we picked up the number 1 tight end in the nation, Justin Davis. He's 5-star, 6'6", 213 pounds. He's got some pretty good speed and acceleration, awareness, catching, and not so much on the blocking. So more of a receiving tight end for sure, but the number 1 tight end in the nation. We also picked up Rob Johnson, the number 3 defensive tackle. He's a 4-star. So good strength, good tackle, power and finesse moves, all solid. Pursuit is solid. He looks like he's going to be pretty good. All right, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. We have 55 subscribers. You could be number 56. You could be Lawrence Taylor. Peace.